If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want. Hey everyone, Matt from Untitled MTG here, and welcome to the first deck tech of the week. So let me just say, if you did miss yesterday's video, yes, I did a video on Sunday. It is some gameplay, mono green Stompy, putting it through its paces, and there's a few questions that I want to ask my subs on that video as well. So make sure you go and check it out. There'll be links above and links below and everything around it, or you can just find it. You know where all the videos are, and please do go and check it out and give it some love. So today's video is another standard brew. It's a deck that I was asked to remaster once we had Guilds of Ravnica. It's mono blue Artifact Control. So we get a few new cards to play with, and we lost a few cards as well. So there is in this deck 27 spells in total, 10 creatures and 23 lands. So we're going to start off by looking at the artifacts. We are mono blue Artifact Control, as I say. We've got 16 artifacts in total in the deck, starting off with a 3 of Diamond Mare. Diamond Mare, when it ends battle, we get to choose a colour, and obviously it's going to be blue. And whenever we cast a blue spell, we get to gain a life. It's a 1/3 as well, which is great early play with all these aggro creatures down. Now, obviously, being 1/0 blue, we're going to have to be tricksy. We're going to have counter spells. We're going to need early blockers because it's a very, very aggro format. This will help us gain life as well because obviously there's quite a few blue spells in the deck, not only just colours. And Diamond Mare is definitely a great addition to this deck. The next card we have is a 4 of, and it's Gargoyle Sentinel. 3/3 Defender for 3 mana. You can also pay 3, and it loses Defender and gains Flying to end of turn, so you will be able to attack with it because it loses Defender. We'll be flying over the skies with this deck because obviously there's a little planeswalker that we'll have later that you'll see that can help with flying colours, Thopter creature tokens as well. I'm sure you can guess what that planeswalker is, but Gargoyle Sentinel, really nice. 3/3 blocker for 3 as well. It's great to get down early, and it's a little artifact that can trigger one of our creatures. This is an all-star in the deck, Thaumatic Compass. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. But this is the important thing about this card because it really does help us because we do suffer. We don't run black, we don't run white, so there's no Vraska's Contempts. Sell the wreckages. You know, I'm not really trying, you know, it doesn't sound like I'm selling this deck, but it is really, really good and fun, guys. This is what. And Thaumatic Compass, when this goes into Spire of Vraska, we can untap target attacking creature an opponent controls and remove it from combat. So like in Testing Light, no matter how big that Gouter is or Gigantosaurus, we can just tap this little land, and all of a sudden it's not attacking us. That's what we want. We don't want those big trampled creatures coming over and stomping on us. We'll use our little land to stop those attacks. The next card we have as well is a 3 of Treasure Map. This can make treasures, which is very, very good, helps with card draw, but sometimes we like to keep them there because there's another planeswalker, I say this a lot, that you will see as well in a minute, that makes certain artifacts that are bigger when with the amount of artifacts that we control. So the treasure artifact tokens can help pump a little creature as well. If not, we can sacrifice them to draw cards because sometimes you will need to do that. The next artifact that we have in the deck, which is the last one in the main board, is a 2 of Arcane Encyclopedia. Tap 3, draw a card. This was like a late addition to the deck. I felt like sometimes I needed a little bit of card draw and I had mana up. And I just thought, well, it triggers one of our creatures. Pay 3, draw a card on tap. Just really, really cool. And it's actually been very good in the deck. I've been very surprised how good Arcane Encyclopedia has been. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be great in all manner of decks, but for this type of, deck, mono blue Artifact Control, it's been good. So before we get on to some of the spells, we're going to have a look at a couple more creatures here. We run a 2 of Sai Master Thopters. This is what I'm saying because we want to trigger artifacts. We want to trigger this to create 1/1 Thopter tokens with flying. This has a nice body of a 1/4 as well, so it can stop early attackers. Come down turn 3, really nice. And we've got 16 artifacts there that will be able to trigger the Sai Master Thopters. Now, it doesn't sound a lot, but it does work out pretty well because not only, it does the blocker, we can sacrifice artifacts if we really, really need to draw cards. But getting those 1/1 blockers down there is very, very good. And as you can see from our artifacts, they were 2 mana costing 3 mana, 2 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana. They don't cost a lot, so sometimes we'll be able to trigger this in multiple turns when the side's down and get ourselves multiple creatures onto the battlefield. So the next creature we have, which is a one-of, is a Dream Eater. Now this used to be Torrential Gearhulk in this spot, and nothing's going to ever beat a Torrential Artifact Gearhulk creature, is it? But Dream Eater, 4/3 Flash Flyer, ends a battlefield, you get to Surveil 4, and when you do, you can return target non-land permanent opponent controls to its owner's hand. So if they're attacking for the win and they've got that big creature, you can send that back. Maybe a Planeswalker about to ultimate, you can send it back. Dream Eater is a very, very nice card and has certainly grown to me since more I've played with it from Guilds of Ravnica. So we're going to get onto the counter spells now. We've got 7 main counter spells in there, starting off with a 3-off Essence Scatter because there's so many creature decks around at the moment. So this is my first deck where I've actually got 3 in the main, and it's worked out pretty smart. 4 as well is a Sinister Sabotage. We've got 4 of them. Surveil 1 gets to counter target spell. We do want to be stopping big creatures down. You know, turn 3, we're going to have our counter spells, and we do need them because we, like I said, we don't have that removal in being mono blue. So basically, we're just going to say nope. Let's get on to our card draw now. So we've got a couple of Search for Escanta. Probably for me, one of the best cards in Standard still. It's just so good. 2 mana as well. I mean, this could have easily been costed at 3 and still been really good. Lets you go through your deck. We again get to flip to the Escanta Sunken Ruin, where we look at the top 4 cards, reveal a non-creature, non-land. So that's going to help us get our artifacts into our hand, or maybe a counterspell or something like that. We also have a couple of Chemist's Insights in there for card draw as well. So the last card draw we have is One with Machine. This is draw cards equal to the highest coveted mana cost among artifacts you control. We have artifacts up to the mana of 3 in the main. In the sideboard, we do have 1 for 4. Now we're going to get to the last 6 cards in the deck, and they start off with a 4. Karn, Skian of Urza. Yes, this is one of our win cons. We want to be making colourless construct artifact creature tokens and making them as big as we can. 16 other artifacts in there and treasure maps that can make 3 more as well when they flip. Karn, Skian of Urza can help us go through our deck, +1 revealing the top 2 cards. An opponent does get to choose which one, but we have that -1 effect as well, where you can put a card you own that had that silver counter on it and exile it and put it into your hand. It's so strong, Karn, Skian of Urza. When I win games rather easy, it's when Karn's on the field for this deck. Absolutely amazing. The last Planeswalker, of course, it has to be Tezzeret Artifice Master. How could we not? We're mono blue artifact control. This can create Thopters just like Psy Master Thopters as well. Draw cards if we control 3 or more artifacts, which is a lot of the time. We can draw 2 cards for the 0 and the -9. At the beginning of your end step, search your library for a permanent card and put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. That is a nice little win con as well, but it's not essential to us. We will more likely win the game by flooding the board with 1/1 Thopter tokens and then just flying over the top and winning the game. So we'll take a quick look at the land base now. There's 23 lands in total, starting off with a 1-of Arch of Orazca. This is nice, a bit of extra card draw if we have the City's Blessing. Then we have a Detection Tower in there. You know, you're seeing that in all my builds at the moment, ready for those hex-proof creatures. Also a 1-of Field of Ruin. And then we have a 4-of Zalfirin Void that lets us scry 1 when it enters the battlefield and taps for a colourless. The rest of the land base is all islands, apart from a 1-of Memorial to Genius that, just in case we need some more card draw, you can sack this for 5 mana, tap it, and then draw 2 cards. So before we get to the sideboard now, let's have a little look on the plan of this deck. You can see it's mono blue artifact control. We've got 16 artifacts in the main board. Getting your diamond mares down quick so then it can potentially gain you life when you're drawing your blue spells and countering. You've got to be saying no to your opponents. We've got 7 main counter spells in there and a lot more, a few more in the sideboard, shall I say. We've got lots of card draw, Chemist's Insight, Search for Escanta to help us go through our deck. Karn always does that as well, helps you go through the deck. We've got the Scries on treasure maps, getting lands with Thaumatic to get that flipped, and of course even more card draw with Arcane Encyclopedia. We will be going through our deck rather quickly and hopefully then amassing the army when we get Karns and Tezzerets down, and then protecting them with the 1/1 flyers. If they do have trample and stuff like that, we've got stuff in the sideboard that we can bring in to help us to, blink stuff back and help us a little bit more and protect our battlefields. But the idea of the deck is get lots of Thopters, get them on the field and just protect them and then just fly for the win. So let's get to the sideboard now. We've got a couple of blink of an eye. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If the spell was kicked, you get to draw a card. Sometimes I've done that, but to be honest, I've used it 2 mana instant speed. Get something back to their owner's hand that's very annoying or about to ultimate or just a creature that's going to, stop the opponents from winning the game. I really would like to fit this in the main board, but at the moment it has to stay in the sideboard. More counter magic we have. So we've got an extra Essence Scatter in there. And we also have 2 of Disdainful Stroke, which is great coming in against those big, stompy, massive creatures. Negate is there as a 3 of as well. Counter target non-creature spell, really good for us. Like I said, we've got a lot more counter magic and bounce in the sideboard, so that we probably will need with game 2s and 3s sometimes, because once they see what we're doing, they want to be attacking those planeswalkers because they are our main win cons. So then we're going to start protecting with our counter magic. An extra couple of creatures in there. We've got another Dream Eater. And then we also have a Nezahal Primal Tide. A big 7/7 Elder Dragon that can't be countered. Make sure we have no maximum hand size because we're going to be drawing quite a few cards. And it's got a way of recursion as well. 7/7. That's going to win you some games as well. 4 more artifacts in the sideboard as well. A Sentinel Totem to help us against graveyard decks. And then a couple of Sorcerer's Spyglass against anything that's really hard. I'm talking to you, Teferi. And then I've got a 1 of Weatherlight in there. I really like it. This has been really fun in this deck. I must admit, it's surprised me, to be honest. It's a nice big 4/5. What's good about it as well is that the Gargoyle Sentinel can actually crew this on itself. And then we can just attack him with another flyer. 4/5 flyer can definitely win your games quicker than you think. The last card in the sideboard is an extra Tezzeret Artifice Master, because I did have 3 in the main, but Khan has just been so good. I had to swap the numbers and go 4 and 2. Originally in the old build, I think we did have 3 and 3, but Khan's just been so good currently that the other Tezzeret will be good in some other matchups where, Khan might not be so good if that's ever true, but Tezzeret can always come in case we want the extra one there. So that's Monday's Deck Tech Mono Blue Artifact Control that was requested by quite a few of you, so I hope you like the new build. We've got a lot of new toys to play with in this new deck thanks to Guilds of Ravnica. Khan is just still there and it's still just going to be so strong. But the addition of Dream Eater is pretty good as well. It's got multiple uses. It's a fly, it's got flash, surveil, can help us go through our deck, and bounce for permanent as well. Dream Eater is one card that probably may get upped. The one from the sideboard could quite possibly end up in the main as well. Next video this week will be on Thursday. There'll be another deck tech for you, and I'm going to really try to get the next gameplay video out on Saturday as well, because it's getting already early so much great support. So if you haven't seen that, please go and check that out. The more support I get on the gameplay videos, the more willing I am to record them and keep the videos flowing for you. That's what I'm going to say. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch the video, and I will see you on Thursday's video.